Hello, YouTube. I've got a Hapatra Vizier Poisons deck. Commander style. This deck is so good. It puts -1/-1 counters on like everything you do. And it's just for Hapatra. This whole deck is centered around Hapatra only. So, this is the best commander you could have. It's a 2/2 for just 2. Get it out on turn 2. It's only 2 colors. This is probably the coolest thing. Not to mention, it comes with swamps and forests. The best colors you can have in Magic. Just these two things. Check out this line right here. You know, it comes in tapped and only taps for a swamp. I've never seen such a card before, okay? I have never seen such a card until I seen Desert of the Indomitable. The same thing. Comes in tapped, only taps for 1 green land. That's it. I mean, those are strong. That's stronger than the double color cards. Like this one right here. Enters the battlefield tapped. You could tap for a black or a green. I mean, that's cool and all, but those other 2 cards are just so much better. There's so much more things you could do with it. Then you have Evolving Wilds. You can search your deck for one of the colors. I mean, a swamp or a forest. What do you choose? Do you choose Shrek's swamp or do you choose the color of Shrek's skin? I mean, it's such a hard choice. You know, it's very hard to choose. So then you have Grasping Dunes. You can tap it for a colorless, or you can pay 1 and tap it, and you sacrifice it and put a -1/-1 counter on something, and get a snakes out and all kinds of things. You can get dragons out, dinosaurs, vampires, anything you want. You name it, you could get it. You can get your grandma in here if you want. You know, get her interested in Magic. Throne of the God Pharaohs. This is a very strong card. For every creature you have tapped, your opponents get burnt that much life at the end of your turn. Abandoned Sarcophagus lets you use cycling cards from the grave. Gate to the Afterlife lets you gain life every time a non-token creature dies that you control. Drawing cards, discarding cards. You don't have Delirium in here, but I mean that's very strong. You love discarding. That's so awesome to not have a hand, because then your opponent can't guess what you can actually cast. They're not ever going to be able to guess what you have in your hand. When you verse Pegasus at this game, he can't predict your next move because you don't have cards in your hand. That's what you want. You don't want cards in your hand. And then you could tutor for the most strongest card, which I'll show you. It's right there, actually. You could tutor for this for just 2 mana. Grab it from anywhere. Grab it from your deck, from your hand, from your grave, from your table, from your couch, from under your bed, from, China. You could go and get it, and you could put it down on the table. It doesn't matter. Faith of the Devotion to Shrek. This is such a good card because whenever you cycle or discard a card, you can pay 1. And if you do, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life for each devotion for Shrek. Very, very strong card. Nest of Scarabs. Every time you put -1/-1 counters on things, you get 1/1 vanillas. Very, very strong. Field Swarms everywhere. Trespasser's Curse. You curse your opponent. They play creatures. Creatures enter their field. They lose life and you gain life. That's their curse. Torment of Scarabs. Enchant the player. That player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Now, that is a big theme right here of this deck. Besides, your devotion for Shrek is very big. That's what this whole deck is centered around. But the cruel reality is that when you enchant a player, they have to sacrifice a planeswalker or a creature, and if they can't, they lose 5 life. This forces them to sacrifice something. They have to. Torment of Hailfire. Sacrificing, losing 3 life, discarding cards X amount of times. That is the most strongest card. I mean, check it out. You actually do that. Look at that. Nicol Bolas is attacking that rock right there, you see. He's very mad at that rock. Then you have Unburden. 3 mana. Target player discards 2 cards. That is so strong. You don't want your opponents to have hands, you know. But if we're fighting a Pegasus, you're gonna use it on yourself, so that way he can't see what cards you have in your hand, because you won't have them in your hand anymore. It's very strong. So this is a counter Pegasus deck. If you verse him, this is the best deck to use. Wander and Death. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. There are not going to be any of these guys on that art, but because those guys are weak, but they're very strong. Painful Lesson. 3 mana. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. So you're going to want to, do this when you're not versing Pegasus. You could use it on your opponent if you want your opponent to lose life. Lethal Sting. 3 mana. Put -1/-1 counter on a creature and destroy target creature. Snakes, insects, anything you want is what you're going to get. And you can destroy one of your opponent's creatures for doing it. Beneath the Sands. Search your library for a basic land and put it in your hand. Actually, it says put it on the battlefield tapped. For 3 mana, you couldn't ask for anything better than putting things on the battlefield tapped. That just means that it's a very strong card. The stronger things are, the slower they are. You just remember that. Razaketh's Right is a 5 mana tutor for anything you want. Put it in your hand. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than tutoring for 5 mana. You can get whatever you want out. Stir the Sands. Create 3 black zombies. And if you cycle this card, you get 1 black zombie for 4 mana. That's pretty strong stuff right there. I mean, that's all the zombies. There's even a little toad right there. See his eyes? He's very excited that he gets to come back to life, I guess. And there's his girlfriend right here. Check him out right there. That right there says girlfriend. That's why he's so excited. He's like, oh yeah, toilets. Then you have Liliana's Influence. You get to tutor for a Liliana Death Wielder. Reveal it and put it in your hand from anywhere. Your grandma's closet, your mom's closet, your cousin's closet, underneath your sister's bed. I mean, wherever you want to get it. And you get to put -1/-1 counters on each creature you don't control, giving you whatever you want. I mean, seriously. Your uncle's dog will come to your table and fight for you. Stinging Shot. Put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature with flying. That's a very strong card because it gives you whatever you want. I'm serious. It gives you anime figures if you want anime figures. By putting 3 -1/-1 counters on something. Anime figures if you love anime. Mario does. Check him out. He's kind of, he's stuck on that same smile from before. Scarab Feast. Exile up to 3 target cards from a graveyard, from a single graveyard. That's a very nice thing. That can shut down entire decks, fully and completely. Make them useless. Hapatra's Mark. 1 green land. Target creature you control gains hexproof until the end of turn. And remove all -1/-1 counters from it. You cannot beat that. There's no way you can beat that. Your opponent might as well just give up when you cast that thing. And then they realize that life goes on. But life goes on in your favor because you're going to gain 4 life unless a creature died where you're going to gain 8 life. It doesn't even matter. It could be your opponent's creatures. You're getting 8 life. Supernatural Stamina. Until the end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies. Return to the battlefield tapped on its owner's control. Just revives your creature that just died. I mean, you gotta predict. This is Pegasus right here. You must predict what's gonna happen. Shed Weakness. For another 1 mana, target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn and remove a -1/-1 counter from it. Very strong. Dissenter's Deliverance. 2 mana to destroy an artifact. I cannot believe they created such a powerful card. I mean, I just blew my mind. Check her out. She's in a coffin, or, a sarcophagus thing, and she doesn't look scared or anything. She's kind of, I don't know what she's doing in there. But, I don't know. Maybe she's trying on her new Halloween, costume or something. I have no idea. Haze of Pollen. 2 mana prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Very powerful card. That's Ifnir right there. That's behind him is you know, Michael Jackson, something like that. He's, you know, just eat it, okay? That's what he's saying. Just eat that stuff. Without weakness, 2 mana, instant. Target creature you control gains indestructible until the end of turn. Making your creature immortal, I mean, seriously? Your opponents are going to be intimidated by this deck. I'm not even playing. Look at that big giant staff. That's the gift of strength. 2 mana gives your creature +3/+3 and gains reach until the end of turn because that staff that he's holding, you know, extends up to the heavens and pierces anything in the sky. Just like the Spidery Grasp. Check this one out. 3 mana, just for 1 more mana. Untap target creature, it gets +2/+4 and gains reach until the end of turn. Very nice card. Turns your guy into a spider. Turns your enemy's creature into a flying bird dude. And your spider's going to get him and attack him. Splendid Agony. A 3 mana instant. Distribute 2 -1/-1 counters upon 1 or 2 targets. Everything you can ask for. I mean, seriously. -1/-1 counters everywhere. This is perfect. You're getting snakes and stuff. Untap up to 2 target creatures with Synchronized Strike. 3 mana. They get +2/+2 until the end of turn. You know, that's perfect. You know, it's got crafty things. Torment of Venom. Now, this is the most strongest. 4 mana. Put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature. Its controller loses 3 life unless it sacrifices another non-life permanent or discard a card. I mean, seriously. I don't even have words to describe that card. Nissa Genesis Mage. 7 mana. Starts at 5. Untap up to 2 target creatures and 2 lands. +2. I mean, seriously. -3. Target creature gets +5/+5 until the end of turn. It makes your creature unstoppable. Nothing's going to beat that creature. -10. Look at the top 10 cards of your library. You may put any number of creatures and or lands from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. I mean, this is the strongest card of Nissa. She's serious. She's very serious in this card. She's trying her best. And she does very good at what she does. I mean, seriously, she's the best at what she does. Liliana Death Wielder. 7 mana. +2 puts -1/-1 counters on things. -3 destroys things with those counters. And -10 returns all creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, seriously? Seriously. No, just stop. Hold the phone. That's too strong. Then you add creatures. Festering Mummy. What? 1 mana for a 1/1. When it dies, your opponent gets to put, you know, a -1/-1 counter on a creature. What? How is that just 1 mana? Dude, that's like 20 mana. That is a very, very strong thing. Then you have Ruthless Sniper. Pay 1, it gets a 1/2. Whenever you cycle or discard, you may pay 1, put -1/-1 counters on target creatures. I mean, seriously. The second best 1-drop in this entire game. There is no better. This is probably the best one right here. Channeler Initiate. Comes in with 3 -1/-1 counters. Remove them. Add mana to your mana pool. I mean, just everything you could ask for in a green card. Exemplar of Strength. 2 mana, 4/4. I mean, he's put 3 -1/-1 counters on things. If you put them on him, you can remove them. And, you know, by attacking and you gain life. Feral Prowler. When Feral Prowler dies, you get to draw a card. That's insane! I can't believe it's so powerful like that. What? Draw a card? Jesus. That is insane. Unbelievable. Now check out Vile Manifestation. It's a 2 mana. You know, it gets as strong for as strong, you know, as many cycling cards are in your graveyard. It's already a 0/4. It's already very powerful. I mean, seriously. How could it get any stronger? Why would you want this thing to get any stronger? Check them out. It's like a scrawny version of Burial from DMC. Then you have Baleful Ammon. Every time your opponent, you know, is going to try to attack you, you're going to gain 4 life. Or you attack, you're going to gain 4 life. Comes in with -1/-1 counter. Amazing.